All right, first of all, happy birthday to Tony Elliott and DeAndre McDaniel. Today was their birthday, so a great way to celebrate with those guys. Just really, really happy for our team, proud of our team, tremendous preparation. The guys were locked in and ready to play from the opening snap and just, really dominated the game all 4 quarters. Very happy for our seniors. To have another home game. Last home game, we obviously didn't get it done, and for them to have another opportunity to play tonight was special for them. And those guys just played awesome. I always tell them that, if you're going to win a championship of any kind, your best players have to play well. I mean, if the Cavs show up and LeBron don't play well, they're probably going to have a long night. And everybody's got a role and a responsibility, and that's the thing that I'm most pleased with. Our best players played incredibly well. And every skilled senior we had scored a touchdown tonight. Leggett, Artavis, Mike, got Wayne. Obviously, Deshaun threw 6 of them. So just really happy for those guys and how they played. And then defensively, Boulware and Carlos and Cordray, Jadar, those guys played a heck of a ball game. Just all 3 phases, big plays and special teams. But that was our next goal. So we're division champs, we're state champs, and I'm really happy for our fans. I know how important this game is to everybody outside, and I'm happy for our fans that they get to kind of have the bragging rights, I guess, for another year. I think that South Carolina is a team that I know it didn't go the way they wanted it tonight, but I definitely think Will has done a heck of a job for them this year. From where they were last year to where they are this year, and getting them in a bowl and having an opportunity to continue to develop their team. Those guys have done a good job. But tonight was a night where our team just played incredibly well. We controlled the line of scrimmages on both sides. They couldn't run the ball. We could. And I thought that set the tempo for everything else in the ball game. Made them play on a long field all night. I thought that was going to be a critical key for us, to not give them any short fields and to make them have to put some long drives together. So really proud of our guys for that. I think we were even in the margin, which is a huge stat for us personally. Usually in how we play, but 11-1 is a great season. Now for us, it's about moving on and seeing if we can win the ACC championship. That's our goal. This time next week, I hope I'm in front of you guys and we're celebrating the ACC title. That's what we set out to do. All the rest of it, those are things that we don't control. Our goal is to win this conference, and we've got a great opportunity to do that. These guys have worked very, very hard to put themselves in position to do that. We haven't been back-to-back champs in 28 years since that's happened. So big opportunity. Obviously a tough team in Virginia Tech that we got to get ready for. They're a champion as well. We're both champions. Saturday night there'll be one champion, and we're going to do everything we can to make sure that's us. But offensively, 600 and something yards. Proud of Deshaun. What a night. Wayne set the tempo, and again, all the receivers I thought made some plays, and all of our backs ran well. So I want to really tip my hat to that offensive line. When you can have that type of balance, I think there was 1 sack in the game, and that was on a missed call, a missed signal. We checked the play, and one of our receivers didn't get the play, and so we ended up getting a sack there. But just those guys competed, did a great job for us. So. Special teams had some nice plays in special teams. Kickoff coverage tremendous. Had a couple nice punt returns, and then defensively, held them to 110 yards through 3 quarters. We got another 100, I think, in the 4th quarter. But just hats off. We subbed a lot of people, and the guys continued to play well, which I think is great for them. And it speaks well to how we develop our players and their attention to details, even though they may or may not get in the game. We had all of our scouts in there the last part of the 4th quarter, and those guys continued to play hard too. So really happy for everybody that they got a chance to play. But 7 tackles for loss and 3 sacks, and I thought the interception by Jadar was a key play in the game because they had just blocked the field goal, had a little momentum. Then we come back and get the interception in a short field. I thought that was a big part. So really proud of our guys. We'll move on quickly and get ready for this next one.
What do you think was the key to the defense having so much success? That was the season low for South Carolina in yardage. What do you think you guys nailed it on your game plan?
It's great preparation. It all goes back to, how we prepare, attention to details. Our staff does a great job. We have you local guys hear me talk about it all the time as far as, we believe in how we get ready each week. And we're very structured, but it takes buy-in by your players. And we've had incredible leadership all year long. These guys have come to work. They've played with great effort all year, but they were just locked in. I mean, they were locked in, and I thought we had the better team, but you got to play well, and to play well, you got to prepare well, and you got to do it one play at a time. And I thought our guys had that mentality all week long, and they were excited to come play. Again, last time we were here, we these guys, they hadn't lost many games here. So it was an opportunity for them to go play well here at home in front of our home crowd and to finish the right way, and for these seniors to play their last home game and get a result like that, pretty special. But credit to the players because they bought in and they prepared. They got themselves ready. This is always a different kind of a week with Thanksgiving and all the stuff that we have to balance, and I think we've got a good formula, and the guys have bought into that.
John Simpson had to be carted off with injury. What happened to him?
Well, they were worried about a fracture, but it was not. So we actually, I think it scared him more than anything. But there is no fracture, so it's more down, I guess, in his lower part of his leg. So I'll get, I guess, more details on it tomorrow. But the good news is he does not have a fracture. So he was very relieved in the locker room. No.
Yeah, after back to that Pitt game, it seems like your O-line has really taken it personally that they want to go out and out physical people and push the people around and run the balls. Have you seen a different level of physicality from them the last few weeks?
I don't know what the reference to the Pitt game's all about.
You didn't get that.
We had 630 yards against Pitt. That's not why we're running the ball well. All right, I know you want to write your articles how you want to write them and spin them how you want to spin them, but we ran the ball well last week and this week because that's what the defense presented for us, an opportunity to run the football. We've run the ball well all year, but the Pitt game was not an opportunity to run the ball. I've had like 10 questions on that. If we'd have run the ball against Pitt, we'd have had about 200 yards. We did what we needed to do against Pitt.
I just meant the last 2 plays of that Pitt game where they didn't get that.
Well, that's 2 plays.
Sure. Yeah.
How about the 630 yards of good plays?
Taking it personally that they don't want to lose battles like that very often.
Well, that's football. We've won most of them. Sometimes the other team has a good play. That doesn't have anything to do with it. They whipped us on that play, on those 2 plays. But we're 11-1, and we're 11-1 because our guys have played great all year, despite what some of you people write. They've played great. They've played great in the offensive line. They're 11-1, and they freaking earned it. All right?
What was your thought process in the fourth quarter, midway through? It's not often you get to have a moment in the middle of the game to go out there and celebrate your team.
Special, and they deserved it. Those guys earned it. Those guys, tremendous preparation. Again, this has been the easiest team I've had to coach, the funnest team. Say it all every week. I mean, I know everybody wants some drama. Every week we want some drama. We want to create some drama. This team's not focused. This team's this and that, whatever. This team has been so easy to coach. And so to have an opportunity to kind of curtain call those guys, it just couldn't have been more special. It was awesome. I think some of them lined up. I think we had or wide out at left guard maybe. Thank God we didn't snap the ball, but we had to, we called timeout on the extra point. I didn't call timeout. I was mad at Seth for calling timeout because I needed that timeout to kind of be able to honor our seniors on defense. So we had to jump offside, and then we got 12 men on the field. But it was fun for those guys just to be able to, have a moment. These guys have been here 3, 4, 5 years, and I mean, they've done amazing things. They tied the all-time winningest, 46 wins or something tonight. 46 wins this senior group has, and got a chance to set the record next week. So I'm really proud of this group and who they are, how they've led, and how they're finishing. You know, that's what I'm so proud of. I've said I didn't think we finished very well in November last year, and this group has really done a great job with that. They really have.
Did I see you counting players when you were going to send Deshaun back in? And
Yeah.
was one of them disappointed because I think he got? Did you send him off?
Well, I sent Ankrum off because I had 12, and so I sent the freshman off. I had to have 11, but I had Nick had 2 quarterbacks out there, a few wide. I only had like 2 offensive linemen, so they had a little fun. It was good for them to have a moment, you know, in a little huddle out there, and I'm sure they had some fun conversation. But you know how rare do you get? I mean, everything's got to just work out perfect to have an opportunity to do something like that in football. So it was a special moment for them.
Even with all the success, how much does this team feel like they still have something to prove every week?
We got a lot to prove. I mean, we want to win the ACC championship, and so we're the Atlantic champ, and Virginia Tech is the Coastal champ, and we've got to prove that we're the best in this league. I mean, that's what it comes down to. We got 4 quarters to prove that next week, so there's plenty to prove. We got a lot on the line. We've got some other goals that we're shooting for, but it's all about winning the conference. And so that's what's in front of us right now. We've been working all year to this point, and we'll put everything we got into accomplishing that goal. And we know it's not going to be easy. It's going to be very difficult.
Coach Sean's obviously had some big, huge games out here, but what are your thoughts on the way that he finished tonight with setting the record?
The cream rises to the top. The cream always rises to the top. That's another thing. The things that have been said and written about Deshaun Watson this year is a joke. It's a joke. You know, how people have tried to downplay him is a joke. This kid is unbelievable. Never been around a guy like this guy. That the moment's never too big. He's not perfect, but he's just his leadership, his preparation, it's incredible. His will to win, it is off the charts. And, it's what he's done this year is amazing. It's absolutely amazing. He played a couple games banged up, but he's still out there grinding, doing what he does. I'm just proud of it, and to see him tonight finish like he did with 6 touchdowns, it just was incredible. It should have had 8. Should have had 8 touchdowns. He just threw the ball incredibly well and made good decisions in the running game, and it just did what he did. I mean, he's just, golly, it's had an unbelievable year. Everybody wants to focus on a couple plays that he's had bad. But everybody has some bad plays. There's not a player out there that hadn't had some bad plays. But it just seems like with Deshaun, it's just magnified to the nth degree. This kid, as opposed to the good that he's done, it's unbelievable what he's done and how he's played and how he's led this team and taken this program to a whole nother level.
I guess kind of along those lines, when he got here, you guys had lost 5 in a row to South Carolina, and he just essentially said, I think literally said, I'm not going to lose to these guys, and has done it impressive fashion the last 3 years. Can you kind of contextualize not just what he's meant on the field, but in terms of how Clemson is viewed in the bigger picture and what he's meant within the locker room to this team?
Well, again, that's why we recruited him. Thought he was a great player. But you never really know until you get a guy here how he's going to transition, how he's going to respond, how he's going to handle adversity, how he's going to handle some failure, whatever. He's had an injury, but he's the best I've ever been around, ever. He's just unbelievable. He is a great winner, a great competitor, and a great quarterback.
Coach, no turnovers against Wake. The only one tonight was on the tip ball. Also against Wake, 4 for 4 in the red zone tonight, 7 for 8. How important is it to see some consistency there headed into the postseason? Well,
it's huge. That's when we've had our struggles this year, it's because of 2 things. We either had turnovers, You know, we've had about 5 possessions inside the 5 where we got no points, and that allowed people to kind of hang around. Instead of putting people away, it allowed people to hang around in some games. And but it's huge. I mean, what is it, Tim? What's our when we have 1 or less?
Opposition 286 to 37. We have 1 turnover or less.
1 turnover or less, 286 to 37. That's how big that is. So, I mean, it's huge, and it's a lot different when we have 2 or more. It's probably a lot closer. So it's a big deal. It's a big deal. And so it's trending. We're trending in the right direction.
Speaking of Watson again, was there any one moment, 2014, 2013, to where you knew this kid's going to be a program changer? We hit on this kid's going to be almost larger than life.
I knew when I saw him in camp, if he came to Clemson, he was going to be a special player. But, again, until you gets here, you don't know how fast a guy's going to transition until you start coaching them. And, how you're going to develop, how they're going to work in the weight room, how's the verbiage going to transfer, how are they going to be going from the meeting rooms to the practice field. Those are things you just never know until you start coaching them. And I knew in spring practice, now he had to physically develop. He was only 180 pounds when he got here. So he's going to have to get a little stronger. But he just, we couldn't give him enough. You give him day 1 installation, day 2 installation, he'd have it like that. Just never been around a freshman like him. Really, really special. He and Mitch Hyatt. Those 2 guys, just phenomenal freshmen for what they were able to grasp right out of the gate here.
Dabo, given their protection issues coming in, did you feel like y'all could rattle him and sort of affect him in ways that he hadn't been to this point?
Well, we thought we matched up well, and we felt like we matched up well outside, that we could make him hold the ball a little bit and have to move around. He did a good job. We had him a couple more times, but he got away from us. He's going to be a good player. He really is. That's tough. That's tough sledding for a young guy to come in. We got a good defense. We got a really good front, and our plan was to bring a lot of pressure, different types of pressure, give him some different looks. Again, he's a young player. And we wanted to pick our spots outside where we got up and challenged them and tried to disrupt their timing. I thought we did a good job with that. But the main thing was we couldn't let them run the football. We absolutely had to take that away. And that again, goes back to our guys up front and our backers. I thought they did an excellent job. But, Bentley is going to be a good player. He's going to be a good player. There's no question about it. He's tough. You get thrown in there, right in the middle part of the season, and but he rallied them, and again, they got a chance to go to a bowl game, and that's going to be important for Will and them to have that time to coach some of their guys up. They've got some young guys, but I think he's a good leader. I think he's a guy that'll be very committed to getting better each and every year. Got a lot of respect for Bentley.
Coach C.J. Fuller had a nice night running the ball. Also showed some good hands on that wheel route touchdown. Can you just talk about how he's come on the last few weeks?
Yeah, he's just kind of gotten his confidence and hit his groove, settled in, done a nice job. I thought all those backs did a nice job tonight. I thought Choice did well. I thought Feaster got in. You kind of see his explosiveness. We've got a good situation there. Those Wayne will again is our guy, and he'll have opportunity to finish up strong here. But those guys coming back, we're going to be just fine. I think those guys will be ready to step in and fill that void from Wayne. But what can you say about Wayne? Golly, you talk about a guy that just he and Artavis are probably 2 of the most underrated players that we have. They're just blue collar, play with a chip on their shoulder, just productive football players, both of them.
Obviously, winning is the ultimate goal, but winning a rivalry game by 49 points, does that mean a little bit more to just dominate it from start to finish?
Well, yeah. Bottom line is to win. I don't care, if you win by 1 more point, that's the bottom line. You want to win the game, but there's no question. That's great for our fans, but it's for us, we just want to play to the level that we're capable of playing at. We want to play well, and that's what we did tonight. We played outside of just a few plays and a few missed opportunities. We played an outstanding football game and really took the game over early. and just proud of our guys for that, getting ready.
Quick look ahead to Virginia Tech. You said 4 months ago, spoke of Justin Fuente and his rise and your familiarity with him. So, I mean, I don't know how much you've looked at Virginia Tech, but
yeah, a little bit.
Saturday?
A little bit. I've seen him on a couple crossover tapes. We played Pitt, so I got a chance to watch him there, and there was one other one. I've seen him a couple times this year on tape, and then I actually got to watch him a little bit today. That one was over quick, but I did get a chance to see him, and I'm proud of Justin. I really am. I knew he was a great coach, and I knew he would have an opportunity to be a head coach one day. And I did not know him when I brought him in here, he or Chad. I didn't know either one of them, but I got it down to 3 guys, and those were the 2 that I wanted to bring in and just kind of see if I liked them. And I really liked both of them a lot. Justin was a little younger, and I felt like that we were going to have it was going to be a much smoother transition with Chad because our terminology was very similar. In fact, I always tell Chad he cheated. Somebody gave him the terminology coming in here because we really married up very easy, and it was going to be a little bit more of a change with Justin from a verbiage standpoint. And I really didn't want to start over. Taj was going into his redshirt sophomore year, and we kind of built a good foundation with him. I knew we had a good nucleus of players, and I didn't want to. I wanted to be able to just kind of pick up where we were, and then Chad was going to bring a few things that we needed, some answers that we didn't have, but really liked Justin a lot, and I think the next year I think he got the Memphis job. So we've kept up with each other. We've talked several times. We've talked to a couple of recruits from here and there, and he's a class guy. It was fun in the spring meetings to have a chance to visit with him and be around him a little bit because I hadn't been around him much other than just talking to him on the phone. But I'm definitely a fan of him. He's going to do a great job. Already has. I mean, first year they're division champs and playing in the championship game. They've done a great job. Tremendous. And then Bud Foster, I mean, they don't get no better than him. He's done a great job his whole career there.
Coach, in terms of the rivalry, when you think back to when you lost 5 straight, and now here you are winning 3 in a row, what are the emotions that go into building your own winning streak here in this series?
Well, we lost 5 in a row, so we still got some work to do. I'm still in the negative category. It's great. It's great. Again, this is a game that matters to a lot of people, and I get that. I understand that, but I also have respect for the opponent, and I've been on both sides of it. I just, we're going to the next one. We're happy. I'm happy for our fans and all that stuff, but for me, it's about this game, and we'll enjoy it, but, for the next 300-something days, and then you line up and play again. You want to win. That's all I can say. I'm happy that we did.
You mentioned Artavis a minute ago. You had to be pleased with what he did in the punt return game, and also Ray was able to get back in the saddle late in the game.
Yeah, it was good to get Ray in there and hopefully kind of reestablish his confidence a little bit. But Artavis is just, it was awesome. I think he averaged maybe 16 a return. So it was good. I think he had his longest return ever, 28-yarder. But proud of him. It was a nice night for him. He's got a will to win, man. He's a veteran guy. Again, Ray's still maturing and growing. He had some nice plays tonight too. He really did. He had some explosive plays with the ball in his hands. But I thought we had a bad face mask that we didn't get called. But he had some nice plays out there, and Dion had some nice plays. Travion had a couple of nice catches. Good to see a couple of those young guys get some opportunity as well. But I don't know if Renfro had one or not. May have one. I think he maybe had one catch. It's always a big catch when Renfro gets it. Something good usually happens. But I'm happy for Artavis and the season that he's had. It was just a couple weeks ago. One of y'all was asking me about the disappointing year that Artavis has had. And he's had a pretty good year. Pretty dang good year. He's like 8th or 9th in the history of the ACC. And big touchdown tonight. I think that's his last play in the Valley was a touchdown. So that's a heck of a way for him to go out another very productive night. Mike had 100 yards, and Artavis had, close to it. So I'm proud of him.
Just to clarify, was there any discipline for Dion or Ray coming in?
No, they didn't do anything wrong other than they were just a little late to my team dinner, and just kind of limited them a little bit the first quarter. So got to show up on time.
You're never a guy that's going to run up a score or anything like that, but when you've got a situation where Deshaun certainly is in the Heisman conversation and stuff like that, do you give a thought about leaving a guy in a little bit longer to see if he can get some more numbers or anything like that?
No, I'm just trying to win the game. We let him go like 2 possessions, I think, in the third quarter, and then we got him out. I mean, he didn't play much. And then Nick went in, and it was good to see, for him. He's a senior, have opportunity to go play and continue to move the team. And I mean, we played everybody. That last drive, we had every scout teamer that we got in the game. And those kids, it's great to see them be able to get in a game and have fun. They want to go play. And Kelly, Kelly just made a play, ran around, and it was a good score. But those kids did a nice job of being able to go in and execute. I mean, Logan Tish and Seth Penner. I mean, you see those guys get in there and have a chance to play. It's fun.
Coach, it was 5 years ago now that you had kind of your infamous speech about, the dominance regarding the rivalry over South Carolina that Clemson has. And since that speech, obviously now you're on a 3-game win streak against them, and you're going to win your 3rd ACC championship since that. How big?
I like how you think. You're just proclaiming it. I like it. Claim it. I hear you.
How big was that for you in this program and pushing you on the direction that you're going towards now?
It's big. I mean, every game is big. I mean, it's a goal of its own for us. South Carolina is, we have 5 goals, and it's one of them. It's a goal of its own. It's a season of its own, and so it's very important. This is when you live in a state like this. It matters to a lot of people. There's a lot of happy people out there tonight. There's a lot of sad people out there tonight. I've been both of them. So I'm happy for the happy people, and I can empathize with the sad people because I've been there. But it's just it's a rivalry game. Anything can happen. There's cycles, whatever. Right now, it's been a good run for us, and we certainly want to keep it going. But it's just one of our goals. I know some people may let it define their season. I've never thought that way. I mean, literally, there's some people out there, if you go 11-1 and lose South Carolina, they're miserable, and that's sad. I've never let it define me like that, but it matters. There's no question about it. And but at the end of the day, it's about the totality of your season and how your guys compete. And for us, we wanted to win them all. We came up 1 short, but we got a chance to get a 12th win next week, and 4 quarters away from an ACC title and a chance to go to the playoff. And that's where we want to be at this time of year.
Coach, I've had a chance to talk to a few of your former players who are now in the NFL, Sharon Peake and Andre Ellington, Adam Humphries, and they all get so excited to talk about you and, talk about your sayings and that type of thing. How special is that you've had young men that have gone through the program, they've graduated, they've gone on to the NFL or other things, and they think of you not just as a coach but as a mentor in their lives? Well,
I mean, that's why I do it. I mean, it's really ultimately why I got into coaching. I got into coaching because I wanted to impact young people's lives, and I felt like that I could do that. I felt like I had a lot to offer, a lot to teach. I'm passionate about the game. I wanted to compete, but I felt like the game of football gave me clarity for my life, and it gave me an opportunity to use the game that I loved for a bigger purpose. And and that's to shape young men, to equip them, and that's what we do here. That's our mission here at Clemson. I mean, yeah, we want to win some games, but we want to build men through that process. And I always tell these guys that I care more about meeting them when they're 30 and 35 than I do their feelings at 18 to 22. And so that's just kind of how I check myself. I'm proud of the fact that we've had 135 seniors and 129 of them have graduated, and we got 21 more that are getting ready to graduate from this year. I'm very proud of that. That's the ultimate scorecard. And then the relationships. To me, it's a relationship. It should be a relationship-driven program. And, you know, we're not perfect. There's a few of them that probably don't like me, but maybe they will down the road, you know, when they grow up a little bit. But I am very proud of the relationships that we've been able to establish. And I love those guys. I love the player, all of them, you know, from the last walk-on all the way up to Deshaun Watson. I mean, I love all those guys and try to keep up with all of them. I'm happy to see them. They're always welcome back. They know that. And, you know, and I try to honor them every chance I get. I try to always give a history lesson to these guys, because these guys that are here now, they don't know what they don't know. But I try to remind them and teach them about that team of 08 and that team of 09 and that 2010 team and the 2011. It's important. And then we've built great bridges. A lot of these guys come back and work our camps in the summer and things like that. And I just think that again, and it's not just me, it's everybody in our program. Everybody in our program really understands the vision and the philosophies that we have in place, and it's a very consistent message. And at the end of the day, you either care about them or you don't, and you can't fabricate that. So I'm very proud of that.
Thank you very much.
All right, guys, thank you.